This is Black Nerd Power. On the
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome one and all to Black Nerd Power. BNP, if you're nasty, I'm your host, Mr. Richard Douglas Jones, and with me, the co-hosts of Black Nerd Power, Mr. Marcus Seabury.
What's up, my nerd?
Oh, nerd please. And Miss Kimber. What's happening, man?
Hi.
Hey, I see you with your High Pro Glow, with your ring light and carrying on.
You feel me? You feel me? Got the 5-head shine up reflecting on these hoes.
You know what I'm saying? Shining on these hoes. You know what I'm saying?
I lean back. Damn it, Kirk.
Harlem shaking it is up. Man. The Last of Us Part 2. Nigga.
Richard, my emotions are in shambles. I just feel like it's rewinding time all over again. Like this story is so good.
It's so good. It's so big. You haven't even scratched the surface yet. It's so big. The scope and the points of view that they tell this story from are all over the place. If you're still, all I'm gonna say is this: you will see Abby again.
I mean, I know I'm going to see Abby again. I keep looking at her picture. I'm at the part where apparently Owen has gone AWOL, and I bet that probably has something to do with the fact that his girlfriend's pregnant or whatever. Yeah. But the thing that I'm really just like, I honestly had to go back and play the museum with Ellie and Joel like twice. Yeah. It was so good, y'all.
It's so great.
It's just really beautiful. And then to see Ellie and then all the letters, I've read every letter. I have not missed a single fucking letter.
You kind of have to get the safe combinations.
Where's Jules? I need him to find Gray. I need them to make it back together so that they can have a happily ever apocalypse after. But I don't think it's gonna happen, Richard.
It's not meant to be. Like, ladies and gentlemen, this game got me so we talked about it and we were like, I don't give a fuck about killing dogs and blah, blah, blah.
Let me out this nigga right quick. Let me push him out. Let me push him emotionally forward here. That's what I mean. I didn't mean to use triggering language there. Please excuse me to my family who find that language triggering. Let me push Richard to the fore here. This nigga texted me at 11:30 at night. I ain't straight, man. I'm hurt. I'm upset.
I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready.
Emotionally.
I was ready for all kinds of killing infected and dogs and hunters and people. Because in the first game, while you understand that what you're doing is weird, it's still a very much us versus them mentality. Like, these are just faceless, immoral, just random ass people. But in this game, no, everybody is humanized, and
it's on purpose. Remember, they talked about that. They said that they wanted the weight of each death to go with you so that you can make your choices wisely. And honestly, that scared me a little bit. I feel like I talked about it. It scared me because I was like, oh God, white boys looking for shock value. They gonna just have a whole bunch of nasty gushing blood and screaming and shit for no reason. No, y'all. No, they are not. They didn't take the fun out, because I'm gonna be real with you, y'all.
It's fun as hell.
This is still a video game. I'm having a great time. Yeah. Okay, it's awesome. I'm stalking around, stabbing people in the neck. Troy threw a Molotov cocktail. I had to talk to Richard about my shambler tactic. It was all wrong, you guys. All wrong.
You can't go hard. You got to get the shamblers from a distance. You can't. You can't Leroy Jenkins a shambler. They're gonna get you.
They run up, get done up, for real. And that's it. So you're having a good time with the tactical nature of it. Ellie's a fucking beast. Okay, she's not a 50-year-old man. She's a live motherfucking
young and spry
19-year-old vaulting 6 feet up in the air.
Sure.
Like, so it's a good time, but you are reckoning with the fact, one, you yourself, as the Ellie herself responds to the people that she's killing. Like, you could tell she's a very like methodical killer because she's been trained by Joel, gang shit. But she's still very like, she still is reacting to what's going on around her, and everybody reacts. Like, you shot a dude in the kneecap, and he like literally just dropped down and started screaming and crying. That did not happen last game.
Like, everybody has a name and people react to it. It's just like, oh man, they got Philip. It's just like, come on out. I can't believe you killed Philip.
They're afraid. They're afraid. They're disorganized and angry. They're panicked, and their humanity, and like we're civilians trying to be soldiers. It's all so clear. So I'm enjoying it.
It's definitely become interesting with the three factions, the Jackson people, the Wolves, and the Seraphites.
I haven't met the Scars yet.
Oh, you haven't?
I just left the movie theater. Leave me alone.
Oh, okay. You left the
Remember
movie
I told you, Ellie just left the movie theater on her own. I told you I had to go back and play Joel again.
Yeah. You're gonna meet the Scars pretty soon.
Okay, I'm ready.
But yeah, it's just it's a lot. Again, and the thing that I called and told you that got me, Ellie almost threw up. Like, after I did it, Ellie started.
I mean, considering what she found out when they first entered the movie theater, and one, she didn't even have to know what she found out as soon as they entered the movie theater, but with that on her mind, I'm sure that was terrible. And y'all, we're really not gonna spoil this one for y'all. Like, this is how much we love this.
Yeah, normally, we spoil the shit out of everything, but we love this game so much that, like, let's see. There's the other thing that you have to understand is there's a lot of flashbacks and coming up, and there's a lot of parallel action coming up as well.
Okay.
In that everything that you're doing is Ellie, you're going to that same amount of time you'll be spending as Abby as well.
Oh,
yeah. So the same amount
going to make me play as her. I felt like we were coming back to that.
Yeah.
Because they want to complicate how we feel about the characters.
They do. Like, at first, because up until this most recent play time as Abby. Again, it was very much us versus them, and the wolves are just savages in the wilderness. But you learn, no,
right?
They are not at all, and that journey has become a whole lot more interesting, and it definitely makes me a lot more apprehensive about killing people because again, these aren't just people that are just living on the fringes. Like, the wolves are like a legit like paramilitary outfit with, like, again, I don't want to spoil anything. God damn.
Well, then you gonna have to chill, nigga.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to chill. That being said, The Last of Us Part 2 is proving to be just as good as its predecessor. The themes that you examine are in fact as deep as they hyped them up to be. Because when I saw it, and you see the interviews with Neil Druckmann, and he's like, this game about revenge and blah 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 blah. I was like, get the fuck out of here! It's a video game. But no, this is literally the first time a video game had. Well, no, because the first one got me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is taking
video games. I'll say, like, as a gamer who specifically goes for stories that cause, like, truthfully, I'm sorry, emotional turmoil, I do tend to go that direction.
Yeah.
It's not that other games like haven't tried and pushed, and I would say like some have succeeded with the turmoil or whatever, but just like science and technology, we can just do shit now that we couldn't do before. And they're making good on it. To see an industry every single time when they could rest backwards, like they could have produced us a game that was very similar mechanically, like they didn't have to improve it as much as they did to push it out like they did. And I feel like they really did go ahead and make this. When I think about The Last of Us tending to be like the swan song of each of these, like each of these PSs, PS4
for sure.
and the PS5, like it really is just a really worthy way to go out and to follow up The Last of Us Part 1, because the story, they just really worked hard on the story. It's obvious. So I want y'all to fuck with it. Please get into it. Talk to us about it. Reach out about it. I am in shambles all the time.
I'm playing it now. Cannot wait. I already can't wait to play it again. I cannot wait for them to tweak this and push it up to the PS5, just like they did the original Last of Us. Because like Kimber said, the original Last of Us was actually one of the last PlayStation exclusive releases for the PlayStation 3, and it immediately got ported up to the PlayStation 4. And at the time, it was the most technologically advanced. They created it specifically for the PS3 and to push all of the systems of the PS3 to the graphics card and things of that nature to their limit. The same has been done with The Last of Us Part 2. So I'm going to be curious to see how they remaster it and port that up to the PlayStation 5, because it's beautiful.
Yes. Thank you for saying how fucking gorgeous this game is.
Like, I just
like, views on views. You haven't, you can't. One thing, people were sick of like the fact that they were in all these lush green environments and they weren't getting enough of the lush greenness and the mountains in Wyoming. Baby, that is, and I know we said that last time, but that is just not the case. Plus, the story, y'all, is top fucking notch. We are reckoning with the fact that we are women in this the fucking apocalypse. We're reckoning with the fact that like social structure is upended. They're sent. Ellie and Dina are sent on their mission by a woman. Command is a woman. She was like, go the fuck out there and get this stupid ass nigga before I go and shoot everybody.
Right, go get my husband before I go kill him myself.
Before I have to go burn the whole world down.
One of the things that I noticed that as far as the women, is that none of them have like huge like Lara Croft titties. Like they're like, that's one of the things.
What you need titties for in the apocalypse, Richard? By the way, you all, this is Black Nerd Power.
I agree, but yeah, no, coming from that, just aesthetically, they look like real people that are surviving in the apocalypse. Like, once you start playing,
bitch, you're not gonna see me after. No, I'm not there, y'all. I'm not there. There's no fat representation in this game, and I know that that's fucked up because there are fat men, and I hope that they address that. Yes, because I'm sure that there are fat. Don't get me wrong. I know some real athletic fat people that you do not want to see in the apocalypse. Yeah. I'm just not one of them. You know what I'm saying?
What's his name in the first game? The gay dude. What was his name?
The one that Ellie was jacking with all the time.
Yeah. I think it's Frank.
She referred to him once.
She does.
Refers to him in the game with like admiration.
There's a lot of Easter eggs in the game as well. Yeah, like we talked about with the Transformer that she gave to Sam. But yeah, no, when you start playing with Abby again, her arms are out, and Abby got some guns, bro. Like she got something. I told you Abby was fucking jacked. She got some of them Tina Turner Nutbush arms. Like she been doing pull-ups. Real talk.
Richard wasn't looking. I peeped the guns when she had the long john on in the first scene. I was like, okay, damn sis. All right.
But yeah, we could sit here and talk about this game all day, but the risk of spoilers. Also, I have no idea when this game is going to end. There's no end in sight. Like normally, like there's like, okay, all right, I got to do this, and this. So this is what's happening. So this is clearly going to be the end. I have no idea when this game is going to end. None.
And nobody's like rushing to the end of it either.
No,
nobody's rushing to the end of it. Everybody's just running the fuck around and goddamn.
Because you have to.
Yeah. I like it. I'm enjoying myself.
Anybody that's come to me, I'm just like, the first thing you need to know is you need to scavenge everything.
You have to. You don't have stuff. But if you're
everything,
it's true. If you want to be, like lazy like me and be on very light and manage your emotions that way, you have time to go and pick up everything. Plus, it'd be a lot of stuff for you to pick up because they know that you need a lot of supplies.
And under accessibility, there's a mode. I forgot what it's called, but it's called like advanced listen mode or something like that. And when you hit the advanced listen mode, it'll show you in the game where all the stuff is.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Some
I
people
don't
are like,
use it. It's too distracting. It's too many things to look at, and I can't handle all that. But,
I may try it my next playthrough, but I was just like, nah, this time I'm gonna be a purist. Blah blah blah. So
it probably is gonna get on your nerves. Like as y'all know, I share my playthrough with my husband, who is a far more I would say dexterous gamer than I am.
Okay.
He can definitely, like, he can actually dodge things as opposed to like just letting the computer dodge it for you so you don't die, which is what I do. But he hates all of the assistance. We have to, when we switch back and forth, I have to change the assistance. The aim assistance, for example, like y'all, the degree to which I cannot aim is just, and I know that aiming takes practice and that I could figure it out if I were to practice, but I don't have time. I do other things. And so, like, I can't aim. So I have aim assist on. I have everything on, and he needs it all off because he, once he got killed, because he was trying to distract the shambler, but he broke the bottle over his own head. It was confusing.
Ow.
Yeah, it was a lot.
So despite all of those, I don't know, is assist the right word? Modifications. I'll say that. Despite all the modifications. Okay. So despite all those modifications, it is still very much an enjoyable experience. Yes.
I'm still having fun. I'm still stabbing shit. I still feel gangster as hell.
Yeah.
It was like, the combat is wholly different, but the vibes are the same from Mass Effect 3. Mass Effect 3 for me was the funnest fucking shooting that I have done in a video game that I had done up until that point, where it was just they had the controls really nice and tight, and you knew what you were doing, and you could land your shots, and they made impacts. And I'm still really invested in making sure that my weapons are useful. Like, those things still matter. I just get a little arrow to tell me where to throw the brick at so I don't hit myself.
How are you liking the like just the fact that you get to play with two very, very strong, very different women? Because that's the other thing. Abby and Ellie play very differently.
So I haven't played as Abby. Troy played as Abby.
Okay.
I didn't play Abby at all because that was the very beginning of the game, and he needed the tutorial more than I did. I wasn't really doing nothing but choosing what I was saying. You know what I'm saying? And hitting triangle. The button I hit most is triangle. That's all I really do. But he definitely played as Abby before. He likes playing with Abby better. He likes how she moves. And he's had her in that wilderness environment. And so it's going to be really interesting to have her in a city environment. Yeah. And because we can already feel and I'm sure I'm really excited about the fact that you said there's a different feeling associated with it, because I noticed how different Ellie feels from Joel, and I'm grateful to know that they replicated that with Abby. If they are going to take on the task of having two heroines, I feel like I got two protagonists right now.
They kind of had to because of their backgrounds. Ellie, while Ellie has come by her skills naturally and been trained by Joel, Abby is a part of the Wolves. And possibly part of other organizations as well. And she has military training.
Other organizations?
Yeah.
What? Abby, a whole spy?
No.
She ain't a spy. She's just complex, layered.
She's not a spy. She's got a much more complex story than we realize. And as you play, you realize just not only how complex her story is, but how much she ties into the first game.
I mean, the way that she murdered the shit out of Joel, it had to be something. It had to be something. So
it is. It absolutely is.
But she's so young, though.
Yeah, I think she's about the same age as Ellie.
Okay.
They don't really talk about her age, or they haven't so far. But yeah, it seems like she's about the same age as Ellie.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're going to talk about this a little bit more, but we're going to take a break right now. We'll come back with more Black Nerd Power on the Kazuki Network.
This is Black Nerd Power.
R&R on Sports.
1968 Olympian Dr. John Carlos.
Oh man, it's an honor. They need to pick up their radio and tune you guys in.
There you go.
It's R&R on Sports. keeping it real, right, and funky.
Mauricio Calvo, who happens to be the executive director of Latino Memphis. Welcome to Funky Politics, sir. How are you?
Great, thank you. You're having as much trouble saying my name as I do saying Kuduxian, so we're even.
Hey, look, I'm good on that.
Reasonable people understand that a country is more than its leader. I mean, I love my home country, but I think people in Memphis need to count their blessings.
Funky Politics on the Kazukian Network.
Black Nerd Power.
And we're back. Black Nerd Power on the Kazukian Network. Again, we could talk about The Last of Us all day. But instead, we've got a whole show to do. We can't just talk about The Last of Us. There's other stuff we can talk about. Let's get into a little bit of tech talk. First story in tech talk. Sony says that The Last of Us Part 2, tricked you motherfuckers. The Last of Us Part 2 is the fastest selling exclusive title to the PlayStation 4 ever. It's breaking.
Do you know why?
Why is that?
Because the coronavirus.
Probably.
Yeah, that would be
probably. This is like, hey, you're bored and can literally go nowhere. How about some video games?
How about some video games?
Yeah. So yeah, it's shattered all kind of records. I think the before that was Red Dead Redemption. And Red Dead Redemption, while fun, it was kind of just like a collection of mini games. Like the story wasn't really all that great. And so yeah, but no, seriously. Let's see. Tech Talk stories. Microsoft has said that they are closing all of their retail stores, to which most people replied, Microsoft had retail stores?
Exactly. I was like, where y'all stores at?
They had a couple. I think I saw one when I was in, I think they had one in Dallas for a while. I know they had one in Minneapolis, and it's basically just an Apple store. It's the same thing as an Apple store. You walk in.
Were there people in it?
I mean, not really, because that's why they're closing. They're like, hey, you want a Surface? And they're like, nah, I'm going to go get this iPad, bruh. And so, yeah, they're closing down all of their stores because nobody was going in them. And again, the Rona claims another. When asked for comment, Bill Gates said, excuse me while I wipe my ass with this $20 bill.
that I'm then going to give away either to education or coronavirus research. Let me decide.
One of the two.
Let me decide. I don't know.
Let me decide now. Hi-ho, this is Bill Gates. Windows is cool.
Oh my God. Windows is not very cool, but Apple's getting widgets.
Yeah, that was the next thing I was talking about.
I'm sorry. I always spoil it all the time.
No, you're good. Yeah, the next thing that I was going to talk about is Apple held its annual Worldwide Developers Conference. Of course, Apple fanboy that I am. We talk about it on the show constantly. And yeah, basically that's what they talked about is they're doing a rollout of a bunch of brand new features for iOS 14, including, as Kimber said, widgets. We finally get a lot of widgets on our home screen. If you've got an iPad, you know that you have the option to have widgets on there. But now the iPad and the iPhone are going to be a little the differences between the two platforms are going, the lines will blur for sure. So yeah, you've got customizable widgets and that you can put on your home screen. They're going to organize your apps for you into folders. Let's see, they've made changes to, oh my God, there's so many different things. They've got picture in picture now. Siri is changing. They've got their own native translate app that they're putting in there. They're going to be updates to CarPlay, where you can add your own. You can personalize CarPlay now, where you can add your own wallpaper. Let's see. There's my God, there's so much.
There's so much stuff, and I don't watch Worldwide Developers. I don't do it. It's too much and too white and techie boy.
Sure.
But I more prefer to read like the redux of them and stuff like that. I also like to watch Soldier Knows Best on YouTube, like throwback on YouTube, Soldier Knows Best. And he'll talk about it. Like there are some channels like that do it. And I only find one thing that I'm excited about in each fucking conference. And these widgets are really the only thing. And I think that does speak to the fact that, like, y'all stop having this whole fucking conference over some bullshit you could just email us about and stop being dumb. Like, actually do something genius before the next conference place.
Yeah, one of the features that I was excited about was they're introducing a feature called Car Key, and basically it's you use the near field communication chip in your phone to unlock your car.
Get the fuck out of my life! No.
Yeah. So now you'll be able to use your phone and your watch as your key fob, which I love. Hopefully
you
that
gonna
means
get in somebody else's car.
I mean, theoretically, but you could do that now. Theoretically, with the wireless key fobs, like
that's true. I've gotten in somebody else's car before.
Yeah, technology exists to copy the NFC codes to get that done. So yeah, totally. But yeah, Car Key. Let's see. Car Key is near field communication chip based feature that lets you unlock your car by tapping on the Apple Watch or an iPhone on the door handle. The key lock. Car Key can lock your car, and it can be used to start the vehicle when the iPhone is placed on an NFC reader or wireless charger in the car. So, you got to make sure your car has all of those features. I'm not quite sure how it's going to play out. Much like yourself, I will go through the list of features because I haven't watched the conference this year because I just haven't had the time. But yeah, that was the one that stood out to me because that's my dream at this point is to be able to start my car with my watch.
You have a child. That makes sense.
Yeah, that is great. It's gonna be it's gonna get cold, and I'll be like, "Hey Siri, start this shit up." And but yeah, we've got picture in picture. It's just all kinds of stuff. Like with the group chat, this is one of the biggest overhauls to iOS that we've got coming up here, and it's Apple, so it'll probably drop iOS in September, October, around whatever time they're gonna drop the new phones. So yeah, that's been Tech Tiggity Talk, Mr. Seaberry.
Yes, sir.
What you been up to, man?
Man, just chilling. I watched this good movie called Waves last night. It's got Sterling K. Brown in it. Then his wife is what's her name? Renee Elise Goldsberry from Hamilton.
Okay.
Yeah. She was like the stepmom to his kids, and his kids kind of go through stuff, and there's some tragedies, and it's just how they deal with it. It was a cool little family drama, man.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? My wife, Lincola, suggested it because she likes Sterling K. Brown really since his Army Wife days and This Is Us, and I was like, there you go, got me watching these heavy ass films again. But no, it was dope though.
Speaking of which, Kimber, did you hear that Hamilton is coming to Disney Plus?
July the 3rd. I really can't wait.
Yep. Apparently, to get it on Disney Plus, Lin, I always mess up his
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Him negotiated with Disney and had to negotiate some fucks. Like he was like, it's like 3 fucks, and I had to get rid of 2. And if getting rid of those 2 fucks means that I can bring Hamilton to the kids, then so be it. So
I'm gonna be real with you and say that that's really complex and stressful to hear, and I kind of want to explore it because I wonder, like, we think about all these people who are in cahoots with Disney now, right? These people who like hold the keys to the things that I've enjoyed for years. Beyonce, Jay-Z, Lin-Manuel, you know what I'm saying? And like, what does this mean for what Disney is? You know what I'm saying? Are they gonna, I think it goes back to that conversation we had about the separate but equal, the Plessy versus Ferguson heroes. Like, yes, we know that the corporations have the responsibility, but then how do we change the narrative that they've already pressed out for so long and make it something that's like, what does it look like to live in a world where we let Disney not be racist? And I see that being a good idea, but I also see that being like, they still got like, you could still find nigga love a watermelon on the And I don't know that that was Disney.
Yeah,
But
Song of the South is still a fucking thing.
you know what I'm saying?
Speaking of which, they are changing Splash Mountain, which has a Brer Rabbit theme, and they're changing it to Princess and the Frog. So I can't wait to see that change for sure.
That's going to be really cute. I was very excited to hear about that too. I'm amped, y'all. I cannot wait to finally actually see Hamilton. Last year, my husband bought season tickets to the Orpheum just so that I could go see Hamilton. I ended up having to go out of town for a conference on like the day that I would have gotten back the day of, and I couldn't go. And he was able to sell our 2 tickets to Hamilton for almost like twice the price of our whole season.
I believe
pass.
it. Yeah.
It was crazy.
Rent on them.
We didn't try to. All I was doing was trying to make that season pass money back, dog.
Yeah, y'all made rent on that for sure.
It was crazy. And so I didn't get to see it. I didn't lose my money, thank God. That really is the thing that I remember most about that, is because I was afraid I was going to lose all that money. I was afraid he was going to lose all that money, and it hurts. Like, when black men buy you gifts and they lose their money, they be real fucked up about it. Like,
you know how much money I spent on that shit?
Yep.
Even if they not mad at you, like you hear Richard's voice when he said that, that's really...
Even if you don't hear it outside, it's on the inside.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, you are listening to Black Nerd Power.
But I'm sorry, Marcus, I interrupted. You were saying something else?
Well, no, just, Waves was a cool film. And then also, I'm a sucker for music placement. And like right before the closing credits, they played Sound and Color by the Alabama Shakes. So I was like, yes!
It's a good song.
So kick-ass song.
Yeah. So even better video. Yeah, when I did DMT, that was one of the songs I used. It's a good one. It's a good one.
You make me so nervous.
Sound and Color by the Alabama Shakes is a great song to do DMT to, ladies and gentlemen.
Stop encouraging this, you all.
Wow.
Why? Because DMT
We're not encouraging
is the best drug ever.
Is it
I
legal?
feel uncomfortable.
I mean,
you're making Marcus uncomfortable.
It's not more. It is. No, it is. It is not.
See, stop.
It is not. Neither is marijuana. But
Marcus feels uncomfortable.
All right.
A little bit, man.
It's a hallucinogen. It's fine. It's fine. It's a hallucinogen. Niggas don't mess with hallucinogens. They be like, oh, that's white folk shit. I don't.
Because we don't want to fucking hallucinate. That's not survivalist.
Yeah, no. Well, the thing is about most hallucinogens, particularly DMT and
they
LSD,
don't last long. Yes,
they
I know.
They don't last long. It's not addictive. It's naturally created in your brain, and it legitimately helps you work through trauma. Like it's
take a melatonin and go to fuck to sleep.
Or take
Same difference.
Or take DMT and shake hands with fucking God.
I don't know. You all, so listen, you all. Here's what you can do.
See, come on now.
Here's what you can do.
Now, I grew up in the church. Don't be doing shit like that, man.
Don't go shake hands with God.
Don't go shake hands with God, or don't say you're shaking hands with God. I mean,
don't say you're shaking hands with God.
My version of God may be different from my version of God. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Shake hands with your version of God.
This is the comics book corner.
Yeah, I guess that's better. I guess that's better.
Hang on. Black Superman say, "What's up with the comic book corner?"
Oh well, since you throwing up Black Superman, I gotta throw up black ass John Stewart pimp.
Now we having a Funko Pop war.
Well, action figure war.
Okay.
John Stewart as well. Darwin Cook. Ha ha ha.
Oh yeah, and your John Stewart got the fade. Respect, mine is rocking the baldy. Huh?
So yeah, my John Stewart has hair, which they don't draw right. They give him that V in the back. What is that shit?
Well, all right, let me jump into this comic book corner.
Yeah, go ahead. What's going on in the comic book corner this week, sir?
All right. First of all, I want to talk about Action Comics 1022. Yeah, this book been around for a long damn time. Okay, this is the first start of the House of Kent. I guess it's going to be a multi-part story. This is chapter 1. Okay. Longtime readers may remember Connor Kent. He was like a clone of Superman that was Superboy in the old continuity.
Yes.
Well, surprise, he's back. And Superman knows about him, so there's scenes of him in the Fortress of Solitude, just like politely saying, "So what the hell are you, and how the hell are you here?" And he brought in like all the smart mofos to try to figure it out, like Mr. Terrific, both Adams, like Batman.
Just running a bunch of tests on Connor. This is the same Connor for those of you that are familiar with the cartoon Young Justice.
Yeah,
it's he used to wear the leather jacket. Now he's just this black shirt.
Oh no, he's back in the leather, and like now it's got spikes on. So he'd updated for 2020.
Okay, okay, because
spikes for 2020 out.
Because he came out in the 90s with the reign of Superman. He was the new Superboy, and he came out with the skater cut and the leather jacket, and then they kind of made him a little bit more clean cut, and they gave him the black T-shirt with the S on it and just a pair of jeans. And apparently now this is his new look. So yeah.
And of course, in his current continuity, Clark Kent got a whole son that's like
Jonathan
grown up from his time in space. So Jonathan and Brainiac 5 for the Legion of Superheroes join with Connor Kent and Superman, and they all go to Ma and Pa Kent's house. And it's funny when they land, Ma and Pa Kent are making out this kind of cute little old couple smooching.
Oh.
But as soon as they see Connor, some switch flips in them, and they're like, "Oh, hey!" And Superman like, "So y'all know this nigga?" Like. It's a whole thing, and I guess it's what they're gonna try to figure out in issues to come. I always liked this version of Superboy. I always liked the leather coat. I liked his little attitude. It was 90s as hell, but I was like in high school in the 90s, so I was loving that shit. Good read. And I got one more. This one is for the kiddies. This is Marvel Action Spider-Man, and this is about Venom. Marvel started outsourcing their children's books to IDW, and
sorry, y'all, we wilding on the group chat.
So Marvel started outsourcing their kiddie books to IDW, and they've been pretty great. They're not just recycling scripts from the cartoon, because they did that shit for decades. This is written by Delilah S. Dawson, art by Davide Tinto, and colors by Valentina Pinto. Basically, Venom appears, and wouldn't you know it, Peter Parker suspects his black friend Miles Morales of being Venom and causing trouble.
Oh, looky there.
Yeah. Even in the kitty comics. But of course, they apologize heavily, and they try to stop Venom, and I guess in kind of tying in with, how he's presented in the movie, this Venom's a little more sympathetic. He was screwed with, and he accidentally, this Eddie Brock kind of accidentally, slipped into some symbiotic goo, and it also involved Dr. Octopus. Like I said, good stuff, great all ages superhero fun for the kiddies, because man, if you have a child and you try to read like the regular line stuff, that stuff is like way too heavy and clearly not written for the young people.
Speaking of which, Marcus, have you seen the one of the brand new PlayStation 5 exclusives?
Oh yes,
Miles Morales. They're doing a Spider-Man game centered around Miles Morales, which has never happened before. So we're gonna see how that goes. So yeah, if you weren't getting a PlayStation 5 before, this may be motivation for you to do so.
Told you, man, just like the learning curve. I ain't played a home system since PlayStation 1, and like I say, I'm trash for a long time.
Yeah,
my learning curve is steep.
I hear you, but what I'm saying to you is, instead of having tutorials, traditional tutorials, games now put the tutorials as part of the gameplay. You learn kind of as you go. I give it a try. If I tell you what, we can't hear you, Kimber. Oh, okay, you're muted. Okay, never mind. Moving on. But yeah, no, it's just games traditionally now teach you as you go. So yeah, no, it's fine that you don't know how to play. It's designed specifically for that. And it's just like, hey, here's the controller, pick it up, hit this button. This is what you do. This is what's going to happen when you hit this button.
Okay.
But yeah, I wouldn't. I don't use the learning curve as your excuse. If you're interested in getting back into gaming, like I'm not trying to bully you trying to get into this shit, but what I'm saying is we live in the future, bro, and gaming is way easier now.
I'll say this: if you get the game, I'll come over to your black ass estate with your red, black, and green flag and play that.
Abracadabra, Allah baby. Van glorious.
The red, black, and the green.
Black and the green.
Sissy.
See, I didn't say it. Marcus said it. It's a song.
Oh, my bad.
Marcus said it.
My apologies to all LGBTQ plus people out there.
There you
I
go.
was just reciting a popular lyric from my youth. I love y'all. Rainbows are dope.
We're going to take a break really quickly, and we'll be back with more Black Nerd Power on the Kazukian Network.
This is Black Nerd Power.
Jazz, America's own original musical art form. When did it start? Who were and are some of the major players? How do you distinguish what kind of jazz you're listening to? We talk about the great and lesser-known artists, songs and tunes, the instruments, and the social impact jazz has had on world culture since its beginning at the start of the 20th century.
Riffin' on Jazz on the Kazukian Network.
And we're back. Black Nerd Power, Kazukian Network. Oh boy. So Kimber, man, what you been up to, man? Because you be reading and shit, but
I be reading when The Last of Us 2 didn't just come out. Y'all, this game, like when you are a person who, and I say it all the time, when you're a person who really enjoys story, like you will get sucked into stories and not have the energy for other ones. And also too, checking in with myself, because I feel like I told y'all about this before and I'm reiterating it. My reading stamina has also taken a dive lately. Why? Because a bitch been on Facebook. I'm getting back off because my reading stamina, my stamina for especially looking at my phone and reading, but reading any like long strings of text be like depleted by just constantly consuming these random strings of text on Facebook. So I'm taking Facebook off my phone today so that I can get my reading stamina back, because I'm not going to be able to just how I'm playing Last of Us.
I applaud you for your discipline. For me, Facebook is definitely a necessary evil, but yeah, to get on there.
You're a comedian. I'm a teacher. I don't need Facebook.
But like to get on there and have to interact with people that are like, I refuse to wear a mask. And it's just like,
oh, bruh, I've been unfriending and blocking just any of the ignorance. Like, you know what, dude? My mistake. We shouldn't be friends.
I've curated my Facebook really well, so honestly, I don't see I don't see shit like that. I see problematic like assessments of Black people's behavior from other Black people, but the people, the non-Black POCs and the white people on my timeline, like I just know them. Otherwise, I'm not friends with them on Facebook. And I also like am real. I'm not very diplomatic. Like I ain't got to fucking talk to you. I blocked all my coworkers on Facebook.
Please understand, I'm real quick to be like, man, fuck you. Like
you like to argue, though. I can't do it.
Just walk away. Like I'm not dealing with that shit.
Yeah. So that said, I'm getting Facebook the fuck off my phone because it zapped my reading stamina, which is why I didn't really read shit this week. And I mean, not shit. And I don't feel bad. I still probably read more books than some of you niggas this year. It's fine. Okay.
No, of course. Right. I mean, the segment is you be reading it, shit.
Appreciate you, Marcus. But what I did do this week was engage in games that like gave me a break from The Last of Us, but still like kept me in my preferred mode for what I was doing. So I went to my Switch, which y'all has saved my life this quarantine. Like I had a Switch. I bought Troy this Switch for Valentine's Day, but this thing has been a quarantine gift to me. The first game that I downloaded is called Him and Her. It's by a studio called Guaro Games. It was super fucking cheap. I bought it with PlayStation points. It was 49 cents because it was on sale. And I had like 50 points because I don't really be doing shit with my points and don't buy many games. So I had like 50 points. So I used them to buy it. And all it is, y'all, okay, granted, I did say this is supposed to be a break from The Last of Us, but bear with me. It's about this little stick man in a dead world and he platforming to get to his love. It really feels like to me kind of a puzzly, 2D, like 3D, 2D, 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 very reductive version of like Dark Souls, because the background is all gray and the platform blocks, you're in this all gray landscape with these small platform blocks, and you're this little stick person, and you're trying to platform around and across the various blocks to get to the only spot of color in the entire game, which is your girlfriend or your boyfriend with a pretty pink bow on their hair. And so the reason it made me think about The Last of Us is because like there's nothing, not The Last of Us, Dark Souls, is because, you know, in Dark Souls, he's like looking for his son. That's why it's so beautiful. Like it's praise the son, and he's looking for his son. And this game felt like that, but on a real like basic level. So that was Him and Her by Guaro Games. It was honestly, it's an easy mode and a hard mode. Y'all, I don't know what I would do with the hard mode because I keep dying on the easy mode. And all the fuck you got to do is walk around a block that you can't fall off of. But I'm still dying because there are sparks and spikes. And sometimes you have to jump and like steer yourself in the air. But it's really, really fun. It reminded me also of Little Big Planet in the way that the mechanics work. The other game that I jumped into, y'all, is a dating simulator. You know, I fuck with dating simulators. I played Dream Daddy. I was gonna play Best Friend Forever, which was supposed to be released like late June, but has been pushed back to later in the summer. So I found another game that was on sale, and y'all, it's called Later Daters, and y'all, it's called Later Daters, and it's set in a nursing home, and it's about shut up. And y'all, here's why it's fucked up. Here's why I was struggling with it. So one, this game is cute as fuck. If you play Dream Daddy, if you were looking at Best Friend Forever, it's very much in that vein. It's wholesome. It's romantic. It's got a little spice for the romantic factor because they know that like grown people are playing it, but it's not like filthy. The issue is, and somebody might call me out on this because it might be ageist, but it was a hard premise for me to access because the first thing I thought about with dating in like nursing homes is when that man was running hoes in the nursing home. Y'all remember?
Yup.
Yeah. Like, I feel like you're the one that told me about that, and how like, and all the really serious sexually based problems that there are in nursing homes because of neglect and because of the fact that people take advantage of the elderly. STDs went rampant in nursing homes. And so like all of this shit was like crowding my mind, but I also was like, okay, calm the fuck down. You just have to just play the game and see if nothing's problematic in it, because elderly people falling in love at a nursing home isn't problematic in and of itself. So I went ahead and got the game. It's very cute, similar to Dream Daddy. You have a lot of not a lot, but a relative. No, you have more flexibility in terms of your gender presentation than you typically have had before. You can be Mooks, you can be Miss, or you can be Mr. You can choose what your relationship history is, the one that you come in to the nursing home with. And of course, all of your romantic options are of various genders, right? There is not too much restriction on the binary. Even though everybody appeared to mostly present masculine or feminine, I didn't really see many non-binary people other than the one main character that's supposed to be non-binary. So I'll update about that if people want to know about it on the Instagram when I see more gender
representation. Get some screen caps and throw those
more gender representation.
Yeah. Throw some of those screen caps on the Instagram page, please.
And that particular game, sorry again, is called Later Dater, and it's by Bloom Digital.
Okay, cool. Just one quick award of sorts that I wanted to give out, and it's very much a blanket kind of award that I wanted to give out, and it just goes out to just these hollow gestures of white fragility that have been happening lately that have been getting on my fucking nerves. Like little stuff, just a bunch of little stuff. Like the show Netflix has the show Big Mouth, and there's a girl on there that's biracial who's been voiced by Jenny Slate. And they're saying now from moving forward, it will be a person of color. Like Cleveland on the Family Guy is going to be voiced by a black person now, apparently. Lady Antebellum is now Lady A. The Dixie Chicks are just the chicks. Like this simple little shit. Like get the fuck out of here with that shit. You did it. Live in that shit.
Here's the thing, man.
Go ahead.
Because I want to quote Kev on stage because he put up a video where they were like, in Texas, they're no longer going to use the phrase master bedroom.
Like, yeah, that kind of shit. Get the fuck out of here.
It's like, y'all giving us everything
but what we want. Like, you want to talk about everything but that. It's just like, well, we don't want to call it master bedroom. Okay, that's cool. But what about this police brutality we've been talking about, bruh? Like the shit, like they're talking about, we've got something called Breonna's Law, but you still have justice for Breonna Taylor. Like, what? Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Yeah, it's a lot of pandering, and it's kind of getting on my damn nerves too. I'm like at this point, like,
above all, it's a distraction. Like, all it serves to do. Okay, I feel like this goes back to us talking about the mayor of DC and how I talked about how, like, we all said it's difficult to, like, know that that's just signs on the ground and nothing else is going to happen. Like, beyond that, right? The first Black Lives Matter sign that led up to the White House was incredible. It was a moving moment. But we knew even in that moving moment that everything that followed this was just going to try to match that energy and not actually create change, which is why we were, like, conflicted about it in the first place. Here on Black Nerd Power, where we mostly say conflicted about everything because we Black and nerds and, stressed. So I don't know, y'all. Like, I feel so. One, I was looking for the Malcolm X quote. I'm gonna call our producers in. Hopefully, one of them will be able to pull it up to the screen, maybe in post production. That, like, where Malcolm X is talking about, like, how, gestures. Motherfucker do everything but what they actually supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker do everything but what they supposed to do.
Is it the one about the knife?
I don't know. It's something about
I saw a quote earlier this week from Malcolm X where he was saying that, like, basically the plight of a reporter was asking him, have black people, have there been any strides for black people? And he's just like, no. He's like, if you stick a knife in my back 9 inches and only pull it out 6, the knife is still in there. Like, you need to pull out the knife, and not only do you need to pull out the knife all the way, you need to treat the wound. He's like, America won't even admit that there's a knife in my back.
No. They won't. As they pull it out, right? As they pull the knife out of your back, they're like, no, it's not there. Remember, it's cool. It's all good.
Right.
And so, but I mean, that's why it's really important for us to remember that the times that we, like, this week is very, very similar to the weeks that have been before. We're still very much in danger from going out and contracting the coronavirus if we neglect to do the things that the motherfucking CDC and the World Health Organization suggests. Okay. Like, and
I don't want to wear a mask though. It impedes on my freedoms. What do you mean?
And every healthcare professional that I've encountered at all has said the exact same thing. So we know that like the virus is still out there. It's very easy to get and numbers are surging. And also Black Lives Matter. And that's still something that we're having to state because people are dying. Last year on my husband's birthday, August 24th, Elijah McClain was killed, y'all. I taught Elijah McClain, not him for real, but I've taught him over and over and over again. And to see that, like, the most precious, the most innocent of us, the sweetest of us, the most pure of us can just get murdered in the streets, y'all. And our death word.
Hang on. That's the young man in Colorado, right?
Yes, Aurora.
Yeah.
He was autistic. And that hits home for me because I've said before, I have a friend, single parent. She is raising a brilliant autistic son. And I just be like, man, like, is he going to be in a situation like that?
For those of you that don't know, the young man was not only autistic, but he was anemic as well. And he was known for wearing a ski mask over his face because he's anemic and he's cold.
And being autistic doesn't make him crazy. He knew what he looked like, which is why he intentionally communicated and used his gestures in a way that signified to people that I am not trying to threaten you. I am attempting to move along my path.
He says quite clearly, I'm just different.
He bows to people when he has his mask on. There's video of him bowing to the person behind him because he recognized that when he turned around that he had a mask on his face and he ain't had no problem. And the dude behind him, and it was a black man that was behind him in the surveillance video that I saw. And you see the black man kind of smile because either he was like laughing at the peccadillo of the gesture, or he was like maybe honoring the fact that, oh, that was weird when you turn around with that mask on, but I feel what's going on now, and I don't have to have no issue.
Yeah, he's like, all right, I see you, little weird dude. All right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, like, it's heartbreaking, y'all. Like, wow, all of these things can go on and everything and on TV, and we can change everybody's name and do this, that, and the third. But one, they're not going to take their old content down and acknowledge that it feeds a narrative that's fucked up. That's the same issue with Disney. They're not going to take their old content down and stop making money off of it and say this is wrong and be accountable in a real way. And they're not actually doing legal work that moves into all the bullshit laws they passing. They passing laws without precedent to actually like hold the shit up in the future. So hoes still gonna get killed in their bed. Hoes still gonna be playing video games and get shot.
We're still gonna get fucked with by the police. Like that's like in the midst of all of this stuff with George Floyd, there are things happening. Like we saw what happened in Atlanta with the couple that got tased in the car. Like this
the fuck you tasing me in a car for? I'm in a car.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
Still happening.
Well, I mean, the Minnesota Police Department has been abolished, right? So that happened.
Oh, it has.
Yeah, they abolished the police force. But I mean, there was a study I read not too long ago. I wasn't prepared for this conversation. I should do better next time, but I'll go ahead and revisit that. There are places where the police department has been changed, like the model has been switched over, and it's not perfect. Why? Because racism, god damn it. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like, yes, the police force, being that it is literally based on fucking patrollers, is a problem.
Slave catchers.
Right, catching enslaved people. Like, and we said, hey, ain't no more slavery, but this here good idea. Let's parlay that into it.
They need a questionnaire. Is it ever okay to refer to a black person as a nigger? Ever?
And most
if you answer anything other than no, then you shouldn't be a fucking police officer.
This is too much. It's too difficult for me. I'm tired.
It is. It's a lot. So yeah, again, award is the wrong word. I guess shine a light on the is probably
just enough with the foolish gestures, man. We need real change.
Let's talk about some shit. It's just like, all right, let's talk about police brutality. Well, Juneteenth's a national holiday. Congratulations. I mean, that's cool. But what's up with this police accountability? Hey, you know how you were mad about Big Mouth? We're gonna change that. Oh, all right, cool. But I would like to not die. Like, you still haven't erased the PTSD or the trauma that I feel when I see blue lights.
You also
in my rearview mirror. You haven't erased that. I still feel that.
You like also.
Sorry, go ahead. No, I was going to say, I still live in a country where there's a national organization from coast to coast, national organization, that if one of those people decides that they want me dead, there's nothing I can do. Nothing.
Big facts.
And I think on that sobering note, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to end the show this week. What do you say?
Because don't forget what the fuck is going on. Don't forget what time it is. Don't forget where we are. And don't forget how important it is that we continue to connect with one another safely and talk about what we know is true and what we know is real.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for listening this week. This has been Black Nerd Power on the Kazuki Network. On behalf of myself, Mr. Richard Douglas Jones, and my co-host, Mr. Marcus Seabury.
All right, then.
And Miss Kimber with the Halo Light.
Bye.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll be back next week. Same Black Nerd time, same Black Nerd channel. We out.
Black Nerd Power, produced by Richard Douglas Jones and some outspoken introvert. Hosted by Richard Douglas Jones, Marcus Seabury, and Miss Kimber. Music curation, some random dude and his friends and their cousin. What?
Say what again?
Recorded, produced, and distributed by Kazukian.